Hello and welcome to Petite Professionals. Today I have a fellow Petite Queen with me. I have Kimberly. Thank you, Kimberly, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me as well. Thank you.
And then before we jump into your career stuff, what title are you representing at Petite USA this year?
Great. So I've been in the Petite system for 3 years, and this is my third year, and I am the current Ms. New Hampshire Petite 2026.
Congratulations. This will be my second time. I love it. It's so much fun. So, for the people watching, Kimberly is a therapist, correct?
Yes.
So, what made you get into that line of work?
Great. So before I got into a counseling career, I think it was in the ninth grade. And I told myself I didn't want to work with machines. I wanted to move around. I wanted to work with people. And I had two career choices. I wanted to be a pediatrician first,
Okay.
and then I wanted to be a therapist. So we had a career counseling day in the ninth grade where we had different professionals that came into the school, and they were showing us what the career was like and what it entailed. So when the doctor, the pediatrician came over, I was like, wait, what is that shiny thing hanging in your bag? And that was a needle. Terrified.
Yeah, that's a
Terrified of needles. I was like, wait, do I have to do that? They're going to be like, yeah. I'm like, so I think I'm going to put an X right there. Because what if it's an emergency and I know I'm going to have to use a needle to draw blood and do all of that? I was like, yeah, I don't think that's my fit for now. And then I was like, oop, let me bump to my second choice. So I looked at being a counselor, and I really liked anything in that field. So it could be a clinical psychologist, a mental health counselor, and a therapist. So what I did, I tailored all my courses and my classes from the ninth grade. So from the ninth grade, I instantly knew I wanted to be a therapist. So I did all the classes, all the courses, looked at all the colleges when I was in Jamaica, because I told myself I wanted to go abroad and pursue like different cultures so I could know what it's like to be a therapist. Because to be a therapist, you have to know different modalities, interact with different cultures. Took all the classes, applied, came to the United States on a scholarship, did my degree at Grambling State University, got a bachelor's in psychology, minor in sociology, and then I went to Lesley University in Massachusetts, and I graduated with my master's in clinical mental health counseling.
wow, that's amazing. I'm thinking back to when I was in ninth grade. I was convinced I was going to be an actress. Like that is so incredible that you knew that early and you were able to yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Well, you kind of touched on it. So the education. So for being a professional counselor, you do need your master's degree. Where you're located. So for people watching that don't know about becoming a licensed professional counselor, is you have to take an exam. Did you, for where you're located to get licensed, did you have to do the NCE or what exam did you have to do?
So it's the LMH, the title is the LMHC, and that's the correct exam as well. And you caught me just in the middle of it because I am studying for it. So I have my book and all my materials. So
Gotcha.
for me, yeah, I thought I really had to get experiences. And I have all the experience now. They're like, when are you going to take the test? And I was like, yeah, you are right. When? So I'm actually prepping right now and like doing all the practice tests. I have all the supervision hours. I have my DSM-5, I have everything. So it's like, Kim, time for you to sit down and put all that knowledge onto paper and get that done, because that's the final part to it, to have that so you can, after getting a few years experience, to go off into private practice and be able to supervise other clinicians that are coming into the practices.
Yes. It's well, something that's kind of been kind of interesting on my end is how different it is state to state. Like
Hmm.
for me, to become an LPC, licensed professional counselor, I have to either take the NCE or the NCHME or something.
Yeah, something along that line.
Yeah, I can choose. Basically, I was told like the NCE is more multiple choice and the other one's more essay based. So I guess I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I still have another year and a half of school, so I got time.
And what I was told, the minute you graduate, do it because everything is fresh in your mind. and a lot easier versus like waiting years. But the years is good when you get the experience, but there is no timeline to it. So whenever you're feeling comfortable, you can go ahead and get that done as well.
That's nice. Yeah. I could see like, there's I feel like I learn better hands-on. Like I can read
Mhm.
something, but I might not retain it. So,
Yeah.
okay, well, cool. So with being a professional counselor therapist, what type of modalities do you like using, or is there some that stand out to you that you're excited about?
So I'm a huge CBT or DBT therapist. But for me, what I tell a lot of my clients that I kind of pull from different areas and practices depending on whoever sits in front of me. So a lot of times I get like kids because I work with a lot of kids at times as well. And I also work with adults that they need to connect with that younger side of them for them to move forward into adulthood and perform in their best. So I tell them I give homeworks, but nothing that you're going to be graded like in A, B, or C, but it's something for them to practice and work on what's going on with them. And then we come back to the drawing board and then we work on it. So I'm like super hands-on. So I don't like when we're sitting, if we're in front of each other and it feels like a lecture. Because I want my clients to like really interact, get hands-on with whatever they're going through or whatever the practice is, so they can know, for example, I love using the mirror. That's a part of my platform as well. But a lot of times, like self-imagery, self-esteem, and building that up for everyone, because it starts right there. Like once you believe in yourself, you can go out there and do as much as possible. And we like write on the mirrors, we'll talk about what's going on. Sometimes there are a lot of persons who like music. They'll write what's going on in music and they'll sing it to me. Poem, they do a lot of poems. They'll write poems and they're like, oh, I have 4 poems and I feel comfortable expressing myself through that way. And they'll do that. It's like, sure, this is your
Mhm.
hour. We're here, sit down, read everything. And with that, they're able to connect a lot more. And what I've found out is that a lot of times they haven't gotten that opportunity to express that artistic side of themselves and to
Mhm.
be who they are. So when they're here and they're just writing, singing, drawing in a mirror. They're having a picture, and it shows so much about what is going on. Because if you think about us as well as therapists, it's hard to express yourself about what really is going on. But when you have a secondary option that expresses what is going on internally for you, it does a
Mhm.
lot more versus like sitting there and they're like, I don't know how to explain it, but can you do this for me? And when you think about kids, like they express a lot during drawing and movement. Why not apply that to ourselves as adults so we can get somewhere during therapy as well?
Oh, I love that. And I actually just talked to Expressive Therapies is
Mhm.
in Appleton, Wisconsin, and they have like music and art, and they were talking about how they like the best is when you can work in a few different modalities to really like make the most of the experience and the growth. So that's so cool. I love art. My bachelor's is in art, so I'm drawn to that. So that's really cool that you work that into your practice. So awesome. Okay. Well, for anyone that's thinking about pursuing a career similar to yours, what's something that you wish ninth grader you would have known?
Hmm.
No needles.
Which one? So for me, what I found out, because I started doing this later on in my career, was that I got a therapist for myself. Because as therapists, we're taking in so much. And then we also need that outlet to filter that out to someone. So getting a mentor or another therapist earlier on so that you can express yourself. For example, if someone said something to you and it's weighing heavy on you, you have that additional outlet to express that
Yeah.
person. So maybe if the younger me would check in with my guidance counselor or just checking in with a mentor earlier on to express what is going on and just knowing why you're going into that profession because it's heavy. You're going to get a lot of clients that are coming to you with so much, and you're going to be like, whoa, this is a lot. But knowing why you're getting into it and having that additional outlet, like, where am I going to pour this into? Do I have someone to speak to? Am I doing self-care for myself and just ensuring that there is something to fall back on so you can also protect your mental health as well?
No, that's wonderful advice. Well, thank you so much for sharing about your career. I love it. What you're saying is so true is, people aren't coming to you on their best days, right?
Mhm.
So, um, I appreciate what you do and thank you for sharing about it.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I liked how you mentioned not on your besties because you're gonna get good clients, bad, and but there isn't a thing where it's like bad. It's because they're going through so much, and you never know. Maybe this is their actual first time sitting in front of someone that wants to listen. And not
Mhm.
only just listen to hear, but listen to understand and provide that guidance that they need. And just knowing that you're guiding that person or even that little person into the future, what direction you're putting them in. So ensuring that your mind is in a place where you're not changing yourself, holding on to your values, but knowing that you can practice empathy and understanding where that person is coming from. Because at the end of the day, we all need that guidance and
Mhm.
everyone needs to be heard, understood.
Yes. I thought of something before we jump into pageantry. I hope you don't mind. I have one more question. So I went to a NAMI conference yesterday, and they were just talking about how many people need the extra support, especially like high schoolers or middle schoolers, and they just don't know where to go. I'm thinking even before I got into pursuing this, how would you recommend or where would you recommend people to even start looking to find a therapist? Because I feel like the personalities right need to click. So like
Yeah.
do you have any like if you were recommending someone to like look for a therapist, is there a starting point or any like website or anything you would recommend?
So I know there's like psychology today. The guidance counselor office at different schools can have that as well, or even the
Okay.
pediatrician, they have outlets where they can reach that. But what I've found out as of lately here, there's a huge wait list, like 3 months to 6 months. Because when I was looking for my therapist, is why once I started, I said, okay, I need someone right now. I had to wait like 3, 4 months
Wow.
before someone opened up. So there's actually a backlog here and a need for more professional counselors in Massachusetts as well, and even in New England. So the hard part too is like whenever they find someone, they have to wait on that person to open up. And even if they do open up, is that person a correct fit? And do they want to
Mhm.
start over again? That process. So that's like the downfall with it. But just hanging in there, knowing that that spot is going to open up. And in the meantime, continue using the resource at your school and at your local doctor or pediatrician's office.
No, thank you. That's good to know. Okay, so we get to see each other in 3 months or so in person. I've been like getting all my like my merch out. um, okay, so what got you into pageantry?
Okay, so my friend Trisha Cadet. So when I was on college campus, not in Grambling State University, never did interview, never did swimsuit, never walked in heels, nothing. Terrified of interviews, terrified of onstage question. And for 2 years, she pursued me like, "Hey, we need you to do this pageant." I was like, "What? I'm only here to get my education and that is it. What am I doing on stage in an interview? What am I doing on stage in a swimsuit?" And she did it for 2 years. She's like, "Kim, let's go, let's go." I was like, "No, no, no, no." And then over the summer, she's like, "Can you think about this?" And I was like, "Sure, I will." So I sat down, I Googled, what is pageantry? What does pageantry entail? What do I need to do? I was like, wait, what? I have to do a talent? I'm like, what am I doing with a talent? And I looked at it and I said, I really liked how what stood out for me was the platform part, like having a message to help others. And during
Mhm.
that time, my platform was around bullying and helping others know what bullying was about, cyberbullying, and just educating others about the benefits and also the disadvantage of what happens when we do that. And I
Mhm.
said, you know what? I'm going to do this pageant. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, don't get too
Finally.
excited now. So at that time, I was a resident assistant, I was a student ambassador, so I was doing so much already on campus. And then she's like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this. So we started doing talent. And whenever I got off work at like 11, 12 a.m. at night, then I would have to be up at 1, 2, 3 a.m. practicing my talent.
Oh my
It's like
goodness.
hard work, but the discipline felt so good. And I think it was around 30 girls or 20, between that range. Practiced super hard, did everything. And at the end of the night, I actually won talent, best talent, interview, and the overall title. I was like, did these people make that? My face on stage was like, I knew they made a mistake.
No.
Because I was so young and I was going up against like seasoned other persons who were like juniors and seniors. And I was like, whoa, they made a mistake. And from then on, the rest was history. And I got bit by the pageant bug, and now I'm
Mhm.
here.
I get it. It's such a good personal development program, you know?
Mhm.
I started in college too, and I didn't really know who I was. Like I just was kind of whoever I was around, right? Like I liked certain things and whatever, but it made me look inward and what my values were. And yeah, so it's offered something for me now that I'm a married lady with a kid. It's giving me this sense of community that I didn't really have before.
Yeah. And I love how you said that too, because for me, like as a therapist and a mom, I'm like, I need an outlet. Like for me, it's like super exciting. I get to meet new people. I get to go out in the community and do so much because when I'm on stage, I'm like I'm the same person, but this is the bubbly me. Like you get to do so much. You get to
Another facet.
I know you get to dress up and meet so many people, and that's the fun side. Like just having something to look forward to, besides
Hmm.
like, okay, I'm working, I'm taking care of the family, I'm taking care of the bills, but this is something
For
additional where I
you.
get to have fun.
Hmm. Yes, and it's like so. Growing up, I went to like proms and homecomings. I got to wear a dress. When I got married, I dressed. But then, like, it's so nice to wear a dress again.
Yeah.
It's those little things, you know, that are
Mhm.
pretty cool too. And like you're saying, the platform piece is that's what keeps me going with it. And I would love to know more about your platform.
Sure. So my platform, I'm not sure if you see it, I always have a mirror and I have it right here. My little thingy fell out. So it's Dare to Be Different.
Oh, I love
So
that.
it focuses on like building your self-esteem and your resilience as a teen. So I work with children and teens partnering through the Boys and Girls Club in different schools in the New England region. So what I do is I go into these schools and I teach kids and children like hands-on skills, like building a mirror, writing. Here we did the last thing I did, we wrote like resilient. I'm strong, like speaking into yourself, like speaking positively. And because
Mhm.
I'm in the field, I know that there's a backlog of families needing therapists. I said, why not apply myself in a way where I can go in, access them, and provide these tools. So this year, the Petite Queens, they were able to donate. So it was so
Oh,
overwhelming. I was like getting teary eyed. I was like, whoa, this feels super scary, but super good at the same time. Like now
yeah.
I'm able to get additional products from like, okay, let me find a school, let me find a Boys and Girls Club that needs social emotional things like learning that you're in different zones of regulation, like the red zone, green zone, purple zone, all of that. So they have access to these tools and just continuing to build on their self-esteem and their self-image.
That's so awesome. Oh my goodness. That's cool. Okay, well, hey, I love that you found a need and you were
Mhm.
able to help out and the petite queens were able to help you out with it too. So that like this sisterhood is pretty cool. So
I was like, this was like, whoa, I was like getting messages, hey Kim, I did this. I was like, no, you didn't. So I was like, now I'm on my and I'm like, okay, let me find this school, like this place, like here. And for me, just getting the emails from the organizations, like, thank you so much. The kids want you back. I was like, sure, let me check my schedule. And over like 3 years, I've built up like relationships with different organizations. So they have me in the system. They're like, hey, Kim, are you available in July or August? We need you here. We need you here. And that just shows the impact, like beyond like having a crown, or even if you have a crown, like there's actually a need for
Mhm.
your platform, and it shows us like what pageantry is. And others who haven't done pageantry, like this is the benefit of it. Like we get to really go out there and do true community service, even if it's your profession that you turned into a platform or something that you're adding onto yourself, and really impacting those that are in need. And you just never know like
Mhm.
what that one moment that go you went into that place, or even shipping something to them, what it does for them, and it gives you a better meaning and purpose as a title holder as well.
Yes. So I couldn't help but think. So my husband, he didn't know anything about pageantry, and when I got back into it, he came and watched. And the pageant I did, we got to go on stage and talk for a minute about our platform.
Mhm.
And he was like, "Wow, I didn't realize you guys like did that kind of stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, it's like so much. Like it's to me, it's kind of like a wedding, right? Like you work all year. You have this special day, and then you still have work to do after
Mhm.
the big day. Um,
Exactly.
so, speaking of the pageant coming up, is there a particular event or stage of competition that you're like the most excited for?
Stay costume, hands down. Everyone is like, Kim, I don't know why you keep picking stage costume. And I say, I have a reason. So because I'm a therapist, I talk for a living. So I'm like, I know
Mhm.
interview. I love interview, love on stage questions. But you know what? I'm talking from 8 a.m. Sometimes 5 or 6 p.m. I was like, my jaws are tired. I just need rest. But I tell everyone, if you want to see who I am, like the bubbly me, watch stage costume. Like if for
Mhm.
every pageant I'm sitting down, I'm like, oh, what is Philippines wearing? What is Jamaica wearing? What is USA wearing? Like for me, it shows a different side of who you are and who that contestant is. Are they going to be on stage bubbly? Are they going to be moving? Like it's something where you're out of character, where you're not focusing on like, am I standing in my T stance? Are my shoulders straight? So for me, I love stage costume because it brings out that other fun, artistic side of me. Because I literally sit down and I'm like, you know what? This is what I want for stage costume. I want you to tweak that. And I'm always adding something to it. As I know you mentioned like last year, my Dunkin' Donuts in 2024. I
Mhm.
was all out for that.
That
And
was like that's like the only costume in your division that I remember.
yeah, and it was so fun for me because I got to move around. I got to pick my necklace up that was a Dunkin'. I was like biting into it. I had my little feet up, and it was so fun for me because it brings that side out for me, and it's so artistic, and I get to have fun, just myself.
It was very memorable. I'm excited to see what you come up with for this year.
Yeah, stay tuned.
I think I have all my outfits. I have like I made like a little like spreadsheet on my phone with like
Mhm.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm so here for the fashion.
I'm still looking. I'm like looking, what is the fashion like in 2026? And just looking because Petite, like everyone comes so big and everyone looks amazing. I was like, wow, let me take a little note here. I love that. Where did you get that outfit from? So I'm like loving to
Mhm.
see how everyone shows up, especially for orientation. Like I love to see like what everyone's wearing and how comfortable everyone is. And I'm like, wow, how did you design that? And just seeing how everyone is so welcoming,
Oh,
kind, just been
yes.
super excited to be there.
For sure. I mean, I so I've competed in other systems in the past, but and orientation's always been like fine, but this was the first time I felt like I walked in and I just felt really comfortable and everyone was so friendly and like it was just kind of instant like I felt good. I felt comfortable there, which I haven't had before. So I
I have my list. I'm like, all right, so these are all my returning queens that I need to grab a picture with, and these are all my new queens that I connected with on social media that I have to take a picture. So I'm telling everyone, please don't leave. I need to find you. So everyone has that little message right there. I'm like, remember orientation, we got to see each other. If not orientation, Sparkle party. So remember, let me
Yes.
see you.
That very, very thorough and attention to detail of you.
I don't want to miss anyone. I don't want to miss anyone. So I'm like, you know what? Let me get my list prepared and ready.
That's smart. Well, I appreciate your time this morning. I almost forgot like what time of day it is. It's raining here and it's so dark and gloomy that
Oh, we finally have the sun out. It's warm.
lucky. You know what? I'm not going to complain because it's rain and not snow.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
well, thank you so much. Is there anything like anything else you wanted to share about your career or your platform or anything?
Sure. So in terms of like career and going into counseling, even if it's not counseling, knowing why you want to do it, because I always tell myself, whenever you love what you're doing, you never feel like you're working a day in your life. So for me, I love, like, genuinely love being a therapist and just learning about the different modalities. And each year that career and that profession is always evolving. It's never the same thing. You're always learning. You have to continue doing your CEUs, like continue learning, getting that experience, and just knowing that whosoever sits in front of you, they are a person as well. A lot of times what their values are might be clashing with yours, but
Mhm.
thinking about the training that you got and understanding what your purpose is for, and that you're there to help that person, guide that person to, so that they can have a better quality of life. And that's the biggest thing. Because for me, like, a lot of times I'm walking around and they're like, hey, that's Miss Kim. And I'm like, who is that? And that's a or a pair. And I'm like, whoa. But that shows you the impact that you are having on them because they felt comfortable enough to approach you. And
Mhm.
that's what you want. Create that space where that person feels comfortable. You could be a doctor, you could be an accountant. Just having that space where they're comfortable being there with you. Like when they're calling to speak to you, oh, I want to speak to that person. And you're like, why are they requesting to speak to Kim? Why are they requesting to speak to Natalie? That speaks a lot of volume because it's how you're treating others.
Mhm.
And you never know, they might encourage others to come and say, hey, I have this therapist, you should work with them. And
Mhm.
networking is super big. And just knowing that however you impact that person, they're going to go out there and impact the rest of the world as well.
That's wonderful advice. Thank you. Well, I appreciate you, and I will see you, I think, like in what, 97 days or something? I don't know.
Please don't do it. Don't do it. I do not count down. No, Natalie. As a therapist, I practice mindfulness. I am in the present. It's Sunday. I do not know when. I'm like, nope, I am not doing little X's on the calendar. I
Oh, you
do
guys,
no, I do not have it on my phone. I am in the present.
you were
I
in the moment.
I am here. I can't do the future.
Yeah, forget I said that. Thank you for being here today on Sunday. And all
Thanks so much.
right, well, I appreciate you and have a great rest of your day.
You too. You too.
See ya.
Bye.